Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina, and it is time for that live stream show. That's right, it's Sunday night, y'all, and it is time for that Sunday night live stream show. We're going to get started here very shortly. Just need a few minutes to let some people join. Apologize, we're starting a little late tonight, but we were technically on time. Just typically we start a little earlier, but got Captain Frank in the studio with me tonight. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing fantastic, Dylan.
Just another day in paradise here at Hubbard's Marina. It was beautiful today. It was gorgeous, huh?
Man,
Gorgeous.
it's not what we got coming. No, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. It's gonna get freezing.
Yeah, for Florida terms.
Frigid.
Yeah. Not for half of our viewers. They'd still be hating us.
I know. I like rubbing it in.
Yeah.
It's gonna get frigid for us tomorrow. I think we have a low in the 40s.
I put the doors on the Jeep for the first time in 6 months today.
Yeah. Low in
I
the
was
40s.
like, I know it's going to be bad.
I think that's Tuesday night. It's a low of 43 here in Seminole. So I'm battening down the hatches for some extreme cold because that is not cool.
No, not cool at all.
Still, it's going to warm up to the mid 60s during the day, but that is still, again, frigid for us.
Brisk at least.
Frigid for us here in Florida for sure. So not looking forward to it by any means, but well, we will talk more about the weather once we get started. So just need a few minutes here to get rolling. While we're doing this, guys, don't forget to comment where you're watching from. Please share the video with your favorite fishing group or your timeline, your friends. Make sure you tell everybody to hop on because we are just about ready to get rolling. Also, don't forget to like the video for us. That really helps us kind of spread the word. If you can, like the video for us.
We want to know where they're from and what they're drinking too.
Yeah, where they're from and what they're drinking. That's good. That's a good point. I like that one.
Let's throw that in there.
Brad Wooten, thanks for the stars. Appreciate you, man. Terry Feather, Barbara Austin, appreciate you guys getting us started off with the stars tonight. We are just about ready. Just got to set up the free trip giveaway for you all because we are going to give away over $700 in free fishing trips tonight. All you have to do is comment where you're watching from, and you are entered to win. Comment one time on the video. And if you have questions during the video, don't forget to text that phone number in the upper right-hand corner. That phone number in the upper right-hand corner, that's the number you text in order to get your question answered live during the show. Jonathan Reese, appreciate the stars. Heather Linus, appreciate the stars. Thank you, guys. So where are you from and what are you drinking? Let's see what they answered.
I haven't seen
Lando Lakes Jameson.
Okay.
I like that. Thank you. Will is drinking the Jameson. Alan Kirk claims proper 12 is better than Jameson.
I think I
Nope.
saw that
Nope.
post.
You get out.
We must be friends too. No, I saw that post.
Oh, okay.
I think he posted that.
I was about to say.
I just saw somebody recently post that.
Yes, yeah, he posted
we're
it on
friends.
Facebook. Yeah, he was trying to get my goat, and it worked. Proper 12 is good. It's really good, but it's not as good as Jameson. Nick, appreciate the stars. Sherry Griffiths, Carrie King, appreciate you guys. Tampa High Lie. High Lie is a good beer. If you're going to drink beer, High Lie is a good, strong one for sure.
Yeah, some people, have to drink beer. They can't handle liquor, and that's okay. We still like you.
Ooh, Michael Freeman, Vero Beach, Weller 12-year. I wish I could find some Weller 12-year.
We might just have to have him as a guest
Yeah.
speaker.
Mike, you can come over tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah.
Richard Blazak, appreciate the stars, man. All right. Watching from Largo with Bud Light. Love it. That's awesome. That was a good idea, Frank.
Yeah. We're casting from Largo.
Yeah, we're live
Seminole.
streaming from
okay.
Seminole.
Seminole, Largo. If you cross the street, you're in Largo.
Depends on which way you're looking.
Yeah.
Mike Hart, appreciate you sending 500 stars. You're the man.
Boom.
Todd Linus, Chris Black, appreciate you guys. And with that, we are just about ready to get rolling. Get this show on the road. You ready, Frank?
Yeah, let's do it. Show our faces.
Right. What's up, guys? And Sandy Schaefer sending some stars. Appreciate you, Carrie King again. And Alexa Eicher, appreciate you guys. Alexia.
Starting it up tonight.
Alexia. All right. So we are going to get started here and show you what we've been catching. That's how we start the show, right?
That's right.
So first things first, want to show you this. This is a pretty cool little video set. We had our video guy. So Ricky went out on the 10-hour trip today.
Yeah, I heard that's what he was doing. That's awesome.
That was actually Will McClure's idea. The first mate on the 39-hour knows Ricky, talked to him, and kind of planted the seed in his head. And he came out in a couple 39 hours, did really well, taking some video. And today he went out on the 10-hour and took some video. So check this out real quick.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely cool to see him out fishing. Got a nice one on here. This is today's 10-hour all day.
There you go. Hog.
Oh, Bobby was fishing some
big
deep water. Looks like that's blue. That water is clear, baby.
Yeah, he went.
Nice hog
fish.
fish. Ooh, you want to side hook him in the lip?
Hell yeah, that's a catch anyway.
That's perfect. That's
Want to hold him up for the camera?
That'll
a little
work.
bit of bite.
And notice he caught him on the squid.
Nice mangrove. Hogfish, not mangrove. Hog snapper.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's crazy. I wonder if he had a
Hogfish.
with the
Decent one.
shrimp.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can see the shrimp.
Almost every time somebody catches one on a squid, they're always like, "Well, I had a piece of shrimp on there too."
Yeah.
Yeah, almost every time.
I remember a half day probably 4 years ago or so. I went out just fishing for fun, and I went out there to target hogfish. We were catching a bunch of hogfish. I had all the right stuff. I had a bunch of shrimp. I was fishing 20-pound tests, like the perfect knocker rig setup. And I got a bite, missed it. And I was like, dang it. I reeled up real fast and was re-rigging. The 4 or 5-year-old kid fishing next to me with squid hauls up this huge hogfish. I was like, dang it.
I thought you were going to say you threw down a piece of squid and you were fishing for hogfish
No.
the whole time, couldn't get one, and threw down a piece of squid and got one. That's where I thought you were going with that. But yeah, that's a typical too.
Yeah. The little kid next to me, but he was pumped.
Well, of all those videos we all the GoPros we send down there, almost never do we ever see one hogfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always a pack.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you're out on our boat and you see somebody catch one of those hogfish, immediately you have to throw down shrimp. If you don't, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
It's that's just a telltale sign that there are more down there for sure.
Where there's one, there's more, because
sure.
they typically live in harems. So for one male hogfish, there'll be about 7 females. And typically, where there's one male hogfish harem, there's a couple of them in that area. They kind of nest in the same region, general area. So you saw the first video. Here's the second video.
Nice hogfish.
So watch what he says. Listen to what he says.
Nice hogfish. You want to hold him up for the camera? That's a nice keeper hogfish on the 10-hour all day today on November 29th.
That's your second one? Yeah.
I don't know if you caught it, but his dad said, "Is that your second one?" He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Because the first video was his dad who caught the hogfish and reeled it up, and the second video was him. So between the two of them, they caught 3 keeper hogfish today
Awesome.
on the 10
Did they get a bunch of them?
They did pretty well on the hogs. It was overall it was a slower bite. They didn't have a lot of footage from the trip, but they had a good mixed bag, and they definitely did pretty good overall. Good quality fish, just not a lot of quantity. But obviously that group did well with 3 keeper hogs. So let's get started and show you guys what we're catching inshore. Inshore, then we'll work our way near shore and then offshore. So inshore, first, Estelle Wolfman, appreciate the stars. Hope you had a good camping trip for Thanksgiving. Calvin Brisker, appreciate the stars all the way from Texas. Calvin just drove over for that 44-hour and then drove straight home and then turned on his Facebook to watch the video.
Nice.
Yeah, he must have just got home.
You must love us.
Yeah. Calvin drove all the way from St. Pete today, all the way back to Texas, and
that right?
still caught the show. Appreciate you, man.
So that flounder you posted, unless
Yeah.
he caught two in the same week, he caught that on our dock.
Yeah, he probably did.
Because I remember seeing that kid just sometime this past week.
Yeah.
Got a super really nice flounder there on the dock. So I'm assuming that's probably it.
Yeah, Zach fishes the dock all the time.
I think it was a 20-inch flounder, which is
That's a big one.
that's got some nice fillets on it. That's worth filleting the white side.
Yeah,
when they
for
get
sure.
that big.
Yeah, he's getting to be a great angler for sure. The mackerel bite is going really well. We're seeing a lot of mackerel around our local fishing piers, around the jetties. I was talking to someone today on the half day who caught a nice big old hogfish. Our buddy Dave Burton, he went out fishing with Captain Joe on the half day today, and he was trolling. And I was like, how'd the trolling go? He was like, well, I caught 2 mackerel. And I was like, oh, really? That's it? And he said, yeah, I caught one on the way out, right outside the channel, or right in the channel, and I caught one on the way back when we got back into the channel.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times that when those baits are thick in there, we'll have Smokey drop the trollers before we get out the bridge. Probably not supposed to do that, but we do. and we'll have mackerel skipping on the surface as we're coming through the fender system of John's Pass. It's like just that many.
Yeah, there's a lot of mackerel inside John's Pass right now.
And you can tell those were caught trolling because their necks are snapped.
Yeah, they definitely been catching a lot of these mackerel around the passes, fishing piers. Definitely a great time to get out there and catch those mackerel. And the redfish bite has been incredible lately. I've been seeing a lot of redfish day and night around the passes, mangrove shorelines, dock lines. A lot of redfish. Cut dead bait working well, but these soft plastic paddle tails are really kind of the new craze, and it works really well for those redfish. Sheep's head bite is really picking up. We're seeing a lot.
I wasn't seeing too many at the dock.
Yeah, they're not really quite at the passes yet. A lot of these guys, like this gentleman, Seth Covington, he fishes up in closer to the mouth of the river systems and the bayous and stuff, and around those mangrove shorelines, oyster bars, and those bridges.
Okay.
Like that little bridge on your way to John's Pass, you're going over that little bridge over there by Bay Pines,
Okay.
Right before the VA. So if you're coming down Tyrone Boulevard heading west, you go over that little bridge before the Bay Pines VA.
Yeah.
That area to the right side of that bridge,
I've
loaded.
Definitely hauled in some sheep's heads there. I remember the last time I went on a boat there, because I haven't been there. I used to fish there as a kid.
Yeah.
But it was just an old railroad track.
Yeah.
And my father and I would go to the bait shop, walk down that railroad track. Now they put the thing, So I haven't been up there in quite some time, but I went out on
There
this
was
guy's
railroad
boat.
tracks there.
Yeah, that's overneath that where the Pinellas Trail is. Underneath that's all old railroad tracks there. All the posts are still there. They just cut them off right at even with the oyster beds. But yeah, tidbit of information. But there's right there in that cut where the oyster beds. There's a little bitty channel there. The last time I went there in a boat, we went through 8 dozen shrimp in an hour and a half.
Wow.
Just sheephead, redfish, sheephead. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's a good little fishing area.
Yeah.
And then you go back in there, and there's that KOA.
Yeah.
I've stayed there a couple of times.
I love it there.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go there Saturday night.
Yeah.
Kylie and I were going to go.
That KOA is bad to the bone.
It is. You can do those camping cabins.
Yeah.
And,
the chalets.
Yeah. You can do those too.
Yeah.
I've only got the, because we're trying to rough it.
Yeah.
And
No, my wife doesn't rough it. It's glamping.
they got
when
air
we go
conditioning
camping.
and they got television in them. But yeah, you can have a fire pit and the kids can stay out there. And
We stayed there for like a week and a half.
Is that right?
It was awesome. My wife's
Never done that long. But.
Yeah, my wife's uncle used to manage there, so we had like a big family party there, and it was like supposed to be like a one night thing.
Yeah.
We ended up staying for like a week.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
was
awesome
going
there.
to work and coming back there.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
That
kind
KOA
of
is
like
cool.
a Fort DeSoto plus extra amenities like putt golf course and
A pool.
Yeah, a pool.
And ABC Liquors
really
right there.
roughing it. Yeah.
You got the Wawa there.
And it's just good fishing there. You can fish right there. You bring a little kayak, or you can even fish. I don't know if
They rent kayaks there.
Oh, do they?
They have kayaks. If you get a chalet, you get a free kayak. And then there's also like little breaks in the mangroves where you can cast.
I feel like we need to contact KOA so we can start plugging them on a regular basis.
I'm just saying. KOA is pretty cool. That KOA, at least, is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I've been to KOAs that are not cool. Another nice sheep's head.
Oh, he just changed his shirt. You know he did.
No, he's been catching a lot of these sheep's head. Definitely doing well out there. And then the snook bite is going pretty steady. A lot of these snook are starting to move back up in the bay, but still a few of them late season snook around the passes for sure. Again, the white paddle tails you can see there working well. A lot of these snook, like these guys, are moving up into the bay around the grass flats. Right now, the bite is on the grass flats during the day around those active bait schools. We're still seeing a lot of speckled trout, and the speckled trout bite is getting better as the water cools. And they're going to get bigger. They're going to get more aggressive. They're definitely staging up for that wintertime bite. So good time to get out there and catch and release some snook, redfish, or trout, or get out there and try to catch and keep some mackerel or sheep's head. And let's work our way near shore, show you what we've been catching near shore. The hogfish bite, as you might have guessed, is going very well. Catching
Really
a lot of
well.
hogs.
Yeah.
Definitely
That
doing.
was her first one. She's been out with us
Yeah.
5 times.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and she's been real well. I don't know what the exact number is, but she's been out with us quite often, and she's been trying to get a hogfish. And it was no sooner did she say, "I just want to catch my first hogfish," that I go around the boat and come back, and she is got the rod bent over, and I was like, "Is that a shrimp you had on there?" And she said, "Yeah," and I was like, "This is going to be your first hogfish. I know it."
That's awesome.
She brought it in, and there it was.
There it was. And the same.
And I got her hooked. She is. They've moved down here now.
Yeah. Her and her.
She is like she's like, "You're gonna see me every week." But yeah.
Her and her girlfriends. So she had, I think, 2 or 3 other ladies with her.
Well, she had her daughter and her granddaughter.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And they all 3 were talking about joining the regulars club.
It was kind of hard because the granddaughter was calling her Granny, and I was
really?
like, "You got him, Granny," and I was like, "It's so hard calling her Granny," but
Yeah, they were all talking about joining the regulars club. That's pretty cool. But now they won't once she heard you call her Granny on the live show.
oh, come on. Oh yeah, maybe I should.
All right, let's see. In the same story with this gentleman, this young
Yeah.
angler, this was his first hogfish. He was
yeah.
out there fishing with Dad and caught his very first hogfish. He was pumped.
We're gonna see him a lot. He not only did he get his first hogfish that day, which was the biggest hogfish on the boat. Him and his dad got a hotel room and came back out the very next day with us because we had that special Wednesday 10-hour.
Yep.
So they came right back out. I think they got 2 or 3 hogs, and he was so happy because he got some of his first species ever that he had never caught: a strawberry grouper, a scamp, a yellowtail, and a hogfish, and he got all 4 of them.
That's
First
awesome.
time ever, and he's super stoked about that. And he's a good, polite kid.
Yeah.
A good kid.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty funny. He was so pumped that morning because he gone out Tuesday on the 10-hour, and he had gone and helped the guys clean up the boat, and he had taken all the shrimp buckets that weren't used.
And he saved all the shrimp.
Yeah, and
he
condensed
did.
them down.
Which helped us out because we didn't have to clean up the shrimp buckets.
Yeah.
Helped him out because he had a few extra shrimp at the
Yeah,
end. of
and
the
he
day.
tried to keep them all alive the next morning. He was so
Yeah.
pumped. He was like, "Look, Dylan, look how much shrimp I have for today." And some of them had died, but he still used them and ended up catching his hogfish.
nice.
So
And there's old Fritz there. He's another one of our regulars. Now look in the picture of what he's using for bait.
what?
Or no-
Oh, the knocker rig.
He's got the you can
The
zoom
old
in on that.
Smoky Special?
The knocker rig, the 3 red beads, and his circle hook. And he came out with his mother and his father,
And who are also
all
in the
3
regulars
of them
club.
caught a hogfish on the same stop.
That's
Keep
awesome.
your hogfish, yeah. They
That's
were
awesome.
super stoked.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Another nice hogfish by another happy young angler. Definitely a good bite of hogs right
And
now.
his dad is there in the background.
Yeah.
And he caught 2 or 3 shorties, couldn't get a keeper, and then his son came out there and popped him a good one.
And I heard his father is in the supporters group, and his father was saying how his son, the best part about it was the fact that he didn't catch a keeper, but his son did.
Yeah, right.
His
It's
son
not
definitely
eating
enjoyed
away
that.
at him at all right now. is
Yeah,
it?
definitely.
That means that he taught him well.
Yeah, you taught him well. That's it. And then here's some of the hub fishing catch here. This was Captain Sal and Captain Pete Captain Pete was working deck for Sal, and they pulled off a great 5-hour half day, 3 keeper hogs, nice big old red grouper. Today, Captain Sal brought in 2 big gags and a red grouper and a bunch of big gray snapper from their 5-hour half day. So definitely a good bite of fish near shore right now.
Yeah, he got about a nice 29 incher, I think. It looked like that. Trolling on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice gag.
Yeah, I remember. I was younger, and Garrett and I were working on the hub. It was I want to say it was a Memorial of Life. It was either a Memorial of Life or a bachelorette party. I forget which one it was, because we do ash scatterings on the boats occasionally, call them Memorial Lives or Memorial of Life. It was either that or a bachelorette party, and whatever it was, we had tackle on the boat because we had run a morning trip, but obviously they weren't there to go fishing. They wanted to just cruise the beach, so we were cruising the beach. But we got to Blinds Pass and around that hard bottom area, and I was itching. I was like, man, we caught a ton of mackerel and kingfish earlier that day. I was like, man, I just want to put out a troller. So I was just kind of messing with the rod, and the client was like, oh, you could throw that out. Let's see if we catch something. Ha ha ha.
Right.
And so I set it out, and that was one of the biggest gags that I caught ever close to shore like that. We were 100 yards from the beach, and we probably caught at least a 30-inch gag.
That's awesome.
And it was on a planer and spoon trolling for mackerel. It's that time of year, man. They get aggressive for sure. So we showed you inshore. We showed you near shore. Now let's work our way offshore and show you what we've been catching offshore. This was today on the Flying Hub 2. The Flying Hub 2 did really well on their 12-hour extreme trip today. Nice big old red groupers. Couple nice big red groupers. Beautiful big gag grouper there. Another nice pair. Some nice mangroves. Big old mangrove there. And then this is a 44-hour. The 44-hour had a mountain of fish.
That is a lot of fish.
That's a mountain of fish. Captain Garrett put them on them. Big old cobia, big wahoo, and definitely I got a couple steaks of that wahoo about to eat. Very excited about that. They got a good variety. You can see vermilions, mangroves, yellowtail, big yellowtail there.
That is a nice yellowtail.
That's a beautiful fish. That's good eating. Nice red groupers, nice mangroves, gags. Definitely a good bite on that 44-hour full moon trip that came in this morning. Great catch. And here's the pile. We'll show you real fast.
That is an impressive goatee that guy had. Did you see
Isn't
that?
it?
The white one?
Yeah.
It doesn't
beautiful.
look like he could put another hair in there. It's so thick.
It was full. Where's the document coming up? Oh, is it already open? Technical difficulties.
Uh-oh.
There it is. We found it. Too many screens. There it is. Uh-oh.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to pull up this video.
Can they see us and hear us still?
Yes, they
I'll
can.
keep him busy.
Here we go.
Stay tuned.
Garrett and Will and Jason got a nice bit. All right. Is he going to play? Good morning, y'all. Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. All right. Well, Garrett and the boys just got back, and Captain Garrett and Will and Jason got a nice big old pile of fish here on this 40. We caught a lot of fish.
Yeah.
There's a good story. Apparently the
now back to the weather.
Apparently the live video doesn't want to play, so we're gonna go ahead and give away our first free trip of the night. We're gonna do a 5-hour half day for 2 guests, and if you want to watch that video of the 44-hour catch, it's on our Facebook timeline. You can see it. We posted it this morning, so you can always catch that after the show and go and look and see what they caught. It was definitely a mountain of fish. Highly recommend checking it out for sure. So let's see who won a 5-hour half day for 2 guests.
And yes, the comments are working. I saw a couple of people asking that. It was just we got to chat and we haven't gotten to any of the comments or questions yet.
And keep in mind, if you want your question answered live during the show, you do have to text it in to that phone number in the upper right-hand corner. A lot of times we don't get to see your comment because it disappears. We can only see a couple comments at a time. But the winner of the 5-hour half-day trip for 2 guests is Melissa Riggins Chamberlain from Inverness, Florida. Appreciate you watching, and congratulations on your free 5-hour half-day. Real quick, David John, thanks for the stars. Appreciate it. Michael Jimmy with 1,000 stars. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Shout out to the family. We'll see you Saturday for your Flying Hub 2 charter. Samantha DeSantis, appreciate your stars. And Melissa Chamberlain, congrats on winning. Remember, if you get picked as one of those lucky winners, you have to text that phone number above Captain Frank within about 5 minutes to claim that free trip. So make sure you text that phone number, your full home address, to claim that free trip. And with that, let's talk about the weather. So we go to hubbardsmarina.com, go to fishing trips, scroll down to the weather links page. On the weather links page, we're going to go over to the wind finder forecast for the 5 and 10 hour trips. It looks a little breezy. Gonna get a little nautical tomorrow.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Honking tonight.
Probably on your drive home there, Frank. Yeah. Gonna get a little nautical tomorrow. Gonna be bumpy. Bumpy. Cancel our trips already tomorrow. Tuesday doesn't look much better. Probably gonna have to cancel our half-day trip.
Wow,
possibly
7.5 foot.
Yeah, possibly even our 10-hour trip Tuesday might get canceled. The Wednesday or the Tuesday 39-hour though, that's most likely going to be able to go because it calms down quickly Tuesday, and then Wednesday is beautiful. So this is our near shore forecast. If you go back to our hubbardsmarina.com and you click that 39-hour area, you can scroll down there. Same thing. It looks bumpy, or it looks incredibly bumpy Monday, rough Tuesday morning, but it calms down quickly. Look at that weather for Wednesday. Doesn't look bad. 20 knots, 4 foot, 4.5 foot. On the Florida fishermen, that's not bad at all.
If you're going on an overnighter, you should be able to handle that.
Yeah, so the Tuesday 39-hour trip is definitely going. So we're excited about that. And let's get back to the half-day forecast, 5 and 10-hour forecast. Wednesday's a little bumpy, but it's okay. Thursday's looking borderline, but okay.
But that one's been changing.
It's been changing.
Because it was supposed to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday was going to be blown out too.
Yeah, it looked nicer when I looked at it before the show 30 minutes ago.
Me too. I agree. I looked at it about an hour ago and I was like, oh, wow, it actually looks a lot better. And then this happened again.
So still early to tell for Thursday. I would say right now Wednesday and Friday look the best, but Thursday could come back down. And then it gets a little hairy there over the later part of the next weekend too. Definitely still bumpy through the weekend. So gonna be a rough couple days coming up, maybe a rough week. So you got to kind of watch that weather for sure. We got a lot of fronts coming through. It's gonna get cold around here, and got to time your trips around the fronts. If you're fishing near shore, I would say probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. If you're fishing offshore, I would say that 39-hour trip Tuesday, or that possibly that 39-hour trip this coming Friday looks best. The 12-hour streams are definitely in trouble on the Flying Hub 2. It's going to be a bumpy week.
Yeah, but it's going to be a tough one. So Friday we have an overnighter too, right?
Yeah.
We would.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's ugly, and I'm just going to throw this your way, throw you to the wolves right now. Maybe we can pull off an AM half on the Florida, and maybe we can squeak in an all day on Friday if that's the only day we can get out.
Yeah, well, right
it's just
now
a thought.
Wednesday looks like a good day. So what I was thinking is perhaps canceling Tuesday and Thursday and putting it on Wednesday.
Yeah, but there's a half day. It's the overnighters.
Oh, the overnighters out.
That's what I'm saying. Friday, if Tuesday and Thursday don't go, maybe we get.
Son of a sailor, I didn't think of that.
I know. That's why you got me. That's why I'm
Bouncing
that's why
things
I'm
off each
co-hosting.
other.
I've got you. I got
Yeah.
you back.
So maybe Friday. I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk. We'll see how the weather, what it looks like on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
See how it shakes out this week.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So it's going to be a hold on and wait, because if you're booked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you're booked on one of these trips we're talking about,
Don't
a
freak out
12-hour
yet.
extreme, a 10-hour trip, don't freak
Yeah.
out, because the weather can change a lot for sure. So we don't know what's going to happen, to be honest, because it can change drastically in a very short amount of time. Let's see. Let's get into these questions now that we're halfway through the show. For the show tonight, have you ever used a planer with a plug like the Rapala X-Wrap for grouper this time of year? Not typically. If you want that Rapala to dive deeper, you can just use braided line. So, for example, in Tampa Bay, what they do, fishing around the shipping channel, around 40 to 50 foot of water, they'll use a Rapala type lure with very light braid, like 60-pound braid, 65-pound braid. And that makes it dive deep enough to get close or on the bottom.
Just less resistance because of the
Thinner diameter line.
diameter. It's just science.
Yeah, science. It's physics.
It's
It's one of those sciences. Also, with the planer, what they do use is the curly tail bucktail jigs. So the soft plastic curly tail jigs with a big, like maybe 1-2 ounce jig head, that's really popular inside the bay, inside the Skyway, like a white curly tail, red jig head. That being trolled behind a planer is popular closer to shore and very shallow waters. Out deeper, typically no, we're going to use the plug with a lighter braided line. That's how we get down deeper. Tim Harris, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining, sending us some stars. Anthony Barnes, appreciate you. Christine, hope you and Pete are doing well. Thanks for sharing some stars. So that was our first question. Estelle asked, is there a show tonight?
No.
Are you late?
There's not.
She asked that at 8:27. At 8:27, normally we start early. You kind of ran late tonight, but it's all right. I forgive you. Oh, look, another question. Where's the link for the show tonight? Can't find it. We started a little late. Sorry, guys.
If you guys think that I know how to work all this stuff, that's.
I can't start it without you. I had to wait for you.
I feel needed now. I feel wanted and needed.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to feel. So I appreciate it. I'll have to be late more often.
What's the best lure to use for kingfish from pier? Typically, they use typically for kingfish from the pier, they're going to be floating out those blue runners or those thread fins on a balloon. That's typically how they use or how they fish those kingfish from a pier. So not necessarily a jig. Most of the time we're using thread fin, blue runner. What's some other good kingfish bait on the flat line?
From a pier.
Yeah, from a pier.
For kings.
For kingfish.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. You just use a balloon and.
Yeah, and you want to drift it out there. Get it as far from the pier as possible.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go and make sure you're
mainly because you don't want that king running up into the pier. That's it. You're done. You don't get those back. Not when they're moving 30, 40 miles an hour.
Like on the Skyway fishing pier, you'd want to wait for an outgoing tide, an east wind, north wind, making sure that balloon is getting pushed or that current is pulling that balloon away from the pier, pulling that live bait away from the pier, and chumming up behind it, and that's what you're going to target the kingfish on. You can catch mackerel using a lure, but kingfish from a pier, you're going to want to drift out a big live bait.
Yeah, get it way out there.
Get it out there and get it big live bait for sure. Dan Netto's Nick Nieves, appreciate the stars. Nick, appreciate it. 1,200 stars. Nick planned a January 10th, I think it was, a Friendly Fisherman private charter. He booked out the whole 10-hour trip for his Skyway fishing page.
Oh, no kidding.
Skyway Fishing Pier fishing page.
January 10th?
On Facebook. Yeah, him and his buddies booked the whole boat.
Is it on a weekday or Sunday?
It's on a weekday. I think so. I think, no, it might be on a Sunday. I forget. Let's look. January 10th.
All right.
November, December.
We can always do a special request.
It's a Sunday.
If
A Sunday.
If you want me. If you don't want me, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
It's
but I'll
on
work
a
a Sunday if you gotta have me.
Yeah, so they're definitely excited about that. Next question. Just landed back in Pittsburgh. Might want to see these pictures for your show. Smokey fixing the beer keg. So yeah, during we held that seminar at the waiting area Saturday at 2 p.m. and we promised free beer. Well, I got there.
We had a great showing for it, though.
Yeah, we had a great showing. It was a good time, but the free beer part kind of exploded in my face. We had a kegerator. Yeah, we got it going.
Yeah, we got it going.
We just
got
needed
free
Smokey's help. We needed Smokey's
Yeah.
help. We had to call in the expert.
The professionals.
So we got the kegerator, we got the keg ice down, we got the CO2, we got everything going, but
We
there was a
needed
leak.
an O-ring.
Yeah, there was a leak with the CO2 because there was an O-ring missing in the valve. So Smokey jerry rigged it with some Teflon tape and a little bit of know-how, and he made it work. It was impressive. So not only can Smokey unhook a fish, but he can fix a kegerator with a very short amount of time and a lot of pressure. So I was proud of Smokey. It was a good team effort.
I did find the O-rings. I did get them, but
I feel like
he
you
had
didn't.
fixed it so quickly. No, I
feel like you didn't.
No, I got them.
You did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got them.
I didn't see him.
Well, it's because it was already fixed. I mean, you're not gonna unscrew it and take the risk that what if the O-ring blew out? It was working. You don't stop something that's
You
working.
don't stop a working keg.
No.
Nice. All right, here is another hogfish. Didn't get this photo. I don't know where this one came from.
I do know who they are though. That she came with Christina. I think they came all the way from Orlando. Her and Christina's part of some kind of
ladies fishing club.
And that was their first time out. She had never been hog fishing. She caught a nice keeper hogfish, and look at that.
Nice one.
Yeah, look at that. That's a beauty.
Yeah.
So they're hooked. They're coming back out for sure.
Definitely.
They got a few of them. I think she got 3 or 4 of them, but she got that one nice keeper there.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a nice hogfish for sure. We got a lot of people sending photos into the show tonight. That's cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
Next question. So are you more likely to catch a keeper hogfish on the half day or full day? Last Christmas, Captain put us on them, but they were all a ½ inch too short. I know. Setting up for myself for a joke.
So let me throw that up there.
Go for it.
Throw something at the wall here. All right, so it was only 2 years ago that it used to be only 12 inches, and we could keep them at 12 inches. So now it's 14 inches. So you're seeing a lot of those 12 inchers that we were releasing are now coming up size. So I think this Christmas time, if that's when you're coming back down, you're going to see more. We're seeing more and more keepers because 2 years ago it was almost like 6 to 1, and now it's like back to 2 to 1, and that's how it was. So I mean, when they're changing the laws like that from 12 to 14 inches, it stings a little bit. It does. It lowers our catch count. But in the long run, I mean, it's for a good reason. And, now it's the hog fishing, keepers per catch, if that makes sense.
Catch per unit effort.
Okay, I'll never remember that. It seems to be almost back to where it was prior. So, and the question is catching a keeper, is it easier to catch one on the half day or the full day? Well, so the full day we try to target them more, and there's a lot more people targeting them, which means there's a lot more shrimp in the water. So we do get more for the fishing time, but you can very easily catch one on a half day if you've only got the time for that. Maybe I would say it'd be a little easier to get one on a full day. But like Captain Joe put them on 5 or 6 of them today. Yeah. And they're down there. You
never know.
Yeah.
You never know. What it boils down to. My answer to that question is the 10 hour just gives you more time to target them. Yeah. And gives you a little bit more forgiveness. So I like suggesting the 10 hour if you kind of want to dial in on the hogfish, but sometimes the half day does catch more hogfish than the 10 hour. It's fishing, it's not catching. You never know. Christina Fernandez, appreciate the stars. Dan Netto, Nick, Donna Langston again, thank you. And David Pruitt with 1,000 stars. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Also, deckhand.
What?
So, yeah, they were talking about how hogfish start off as females and then switch to males. So that is very common in our fishery, ironically.
The answer to your question is no, they weren't shitting you.
No, that's
the question
real.
was, was the deckhand shitting me when that it turns from a female to a male?
I couldn't understand what they were asking. That makes more sense now that you read it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, gag grouper, red grouper, hogfish. There's more, but I can't think of
It's
them.
all right.
But there's a
I get
lot
the
of
point.
species that do that. Especially the most notable species that we target are gag grouper and hogfish. They both start their lives as females. There's a certain point where they change to male. Gag grouper, there's like 2% of the population in the entire Gulf of Mexico is believed to be male. So a majority of the population is female. Only a select few change to male and kind of become that apex kind of king of the roost, if you will, of a certain general geographic area, and they're in charge of the reef and the spawning opportunities. So definitely unique in the fishery, especially when it comes to targeting those trophy fish like those big rusty belly gags. Everybody's out there hunting deep water because they want that big rusty belly, but that big rusty belly is the one male gag
50 to 1
for maybe 5,000 to 1. I mean, you're taking a male gag that's responsible for proliferating the species, so it's definitely
big one.
Proliferating. Yeah. We have a National Marine Fisheries meeting starting tomorrow, so I'm getting my vocabulary up. Been studying all day.
It is nice though that you can see the actual difference in the hogfish, and you can see the change between, and you can see in the difference between a female and a gag group, or excuse me, a female hogfish and a male hogfish, and the change is very prevalent. Whereas most fish, you just don't see the difference.
Yeah.
The gags, they do change it a little bit on their belly, but their actual size and dimensions change on a hogfish.
Yeah, the gags change on their belly, but it takes between 1 to 2 years. So you can catch one of those gags that are in transition, and they've done that in the studies. They've done that in the studies at the dock where those
I will still accept them.
Those FWC people come down and they cut the bellies open, and they'll actually check for that. And a lot of times those transitional gags changing from female to male will look the very same as a female. So it's kind of hard to tell. But that's what will happen is that big apex male gets caught, and then one of those bigger females will transition to be that apex male. You're killing me, man.
There's so many things I want to say, but I can't because I'm trying to be,
PC.
Right.
It's
PC,
2020.
Yeah.
All right. So, are there electrical hookups for electric reels, or do I need to bring my own power source? Yes, you need to bring your own power source. There are no electrical hookups for your electric reel.
Is there on the Flying Hub 2, though?
That's what you cut me off, but I was going to say, except for on the Flying Up 2.
Well, you've been forgetting so much lately. I just wanted to make sure.
Thanks for having my back, man.
Yeah.
Tough crowd. There are outlets on the Flying Hub 2. They are specialized outlets. We can send you the outlet diagram and what plug goes into that outlet if you're interested.
And if there was a special situation on like the friendly, we could potentially run a cable for like one person. Like we have done that before. We've ran one power cable down to the engine room, and but generally no.
You just open yourself up there, dog.
Well, I would be willing to do it if somebody had one arm or something.
Yeah.
You know?
We can do it.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to bring your own power supply.
Don't come as a grown man and say, I'll be like, no. If you're missing an arm or something, I got your back, dude.
Didn't you just say I would accept them? I thought we
I'll
were
still
all about
accept them.
acceptance.
But if I'm going to be running a power cable all the way down through the engine room for you, you better have a good reason or $100 bill.
I was on the extreme trip today, and Richie and John really busted their buns moving around the boat trying to avoid the relentless ARS or American Red Snapper. Had a great time. You must have Richie on Sunday night show. He would be a great host. And those new Yamaha 425s are sweet.
That must be his brother or something.
No, Steve Taylor, I know who that is. Those new Yamaha 425s on the Flying Hub 2 are sweet. And Yamaha really did a great thing for us. Very happy with those new 425s.
Those things are huge, man.
They're bigger than I am.
Yeah.
They're huge.
They are the biggest outboard motors you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't bear hug those motors. That motor head is so big, man. It's a
giant.
beautiful.
It's giant.
Beautiful machine for sure. So we're very happy with our Yamaha 425s. Is the weather going to be good for the December 4th 39-hour trip? So that's this coming up Friday. And the weather definitely looks a little bumpy, but it's not terrible.
No, it's supposed to be super nice for that trip, I think.
No, it's like the Tuesday trip. It's actually a little bit more bumpy than the Tuesday trip.
Weird.
It's about 5 foot, 4 to 6 foot, I would say, for most of that December 4th trip. The midweek Tuesday trip has a lighter load. So Tuesday we have 27 people. That's December 1st, not tomorrow, but the next day. And then Friday, December 4th, we have 41 people. And Friday, December 1st looks a little bit more bumpy. Tuesday definitely looks a little nicer. But
what's the wave period? I
period?
feel like for the wind that I was
it's a cold
showing,
front. It's a cold front.
I know, but for the wind that I was seeing that.
So the wind is shifting, so the period's going to be small. Guarantee it.
Okay, let's see.
8 seconds, 5 seconds.
What? 8 seconds?
8 seconds
on
on
Friday?
a freaking 9 foot wave, dog.
That's nothing.
8 seconds on a 9 foot
Wait,
wave.
no, go to Friday.
Right.
Friday.
I was
Okay,
getting there
6
until you cut me
seconds.
off.
Those are 6 seconds.
6
4
seconds
footers.
on a almost 5 foot wave.
That's
That's not a long period.
That's way better than 4.5 out of 4 second.
All right, so you fish 5 hour, 10-hour areas. On these deep water areas, a good wave period is double the wave height. So if you got a 4 foot wave in an 8 second period, that's something to be excited about. If you got a 4.5 foot wave in a 6 second period, it's really still kind of choppy.
All right, my bad.
It's all right.
My bad.
It's all right. You got me worked up. Forgive you.
All right.
Are live shrimp better than dead or thawed out shrimp for hogfish? I'll let you go first.
Okay. So shrimp, when you freeze them and you thaw them, they tend to lose a lot of their texture. So in my opinion, I would prefer maybe to have a live shrimp over a dead shrimp, but if it's fresh dead, I have no problem throwing them on a hook. I don't really refresh my water and worry about it. Maybe the first stop I'll have it in there and I'll put it in there, and then about the second or third stop it kind of loses its luster for me, and I just start throwing on 2 dead ones at a time, throwing them out there. But you just don't want them orange or something that's been sitting in a bucket like overnight. You don't want them orange or pink or anything like that. But yeah, I would.
Let's talk about science. So, when you freeze your fish, when you freeze your catch, when you freeze your bait, cells break down. So cells are made up of fluid. Our body's 70% liquid. When you freeze something, that cell will literally explode. So when you freeze shrimp and then thaw it out, it's softer. Science. So when you freeze a shrimp and thaw it out, it becomes softer. It comes off the hook more easily. It's more easily pecked off the hook. Plus, a lot of times that frozen shrimp isn't fresh, dead shrimp. It's been sitting on deck. It didn't make it back to the fish house in time. They couldn't sell it as restaurant quality, so they took it and bagged it up for bait. So that shrimp is inherently not fresh, dead, and it's thawed out, and by the time, or it's frozen, and by the time it's thawed out, it's soft, and it's not that premium quality bait. The best bait you can get is either live shrimp that you put on a hook and eventually dies, or fresh dead shrimp, where you go to the bait shop, you buy a bucket of live shrimp, you put it in a bag, put it on ice, and you keep them fresh dead.
Yeah, we have a few guys that do that are regulars of ours that actually take their shrimp and they put them on ice.
Yeah.
And it keeps them. You know, they don't have to keep refreshing. And then we have plenty of regulars that bring their own little. They have these incredible new bubblers like
By Engel Coolers.
Plug. So they have these incredible new coolers though, that Engel coolers that are what do you call them? They're thermo whatever. They keep your shrimp cold and they keep them alive all day. They're not just the bubblers you stick on the 5-gallon bucket or the yellow and black buckets like back in the day. Those coolers, they have these cool little things. You can lift them up. They have a net already built in. It lifts all your shrimp out. You can pick which one you want. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Do we sell? We don't sell those though, do we?
No.
Why not?
But engelcoolers.com, you can pick up your new cooler today. I'm really good friends with their VP of sales.
Oh, okay. There it is.
They're good people, and they make a good cooler. It's roto molded, insulated bait box. So it insulates the temperature, keeps those baits fresh, frisky, and it really works well for the shrimp.
Yeah.
So definitely a good option. It is a little pricey, but it's worth it. It lasts for sure.
What do those things run? I have no idea.
I would have to Google it.
All right.
Let's Google it.
Okay.
Engel
And then we'll go off to the who's winning the
Engel.
10-hour trip.
bait cooler. There we go. This is 30 quart. That's a big one.
Well, that's not
Engel
bad.
coolers.
$80?
99.
I just saw $80. Well, whatever.
Yeah, but
It's
there's a bunch of different options.
But that's a super high quality,
Yeah.
situation. It's not. They're not junk.
Ooh,
I've
get
seen
$10 off your order of $100 or more.
them. Boom. So that's
Dude, I have an Engel cooler in the back of my truck. That big 165.
Yeah.
I can fill that up with ice. It'll last a week and a half. In the back of my truck, in the bed, in the sun, in Florida. It's crazy.
That's a good cooler.
Yeah, they're good stuff, man.
But those, can they see that? Yeah, they can see that right now.
They
Okay.
could see it.
There it is.
There it is.
So that's the cooler that a lot of people are starting to bring on the boat now. Write your last name on the top of it, whatever, and bring those, and they keep your shrimp alive all day. You don't have to be running back and forth to the live wells, and if can you open that back up?
Yeah, I've got it open.
See how
right
it's
now.
open? He's opening it right now, and inside of that is like it's a square net, and you can lift up, and all your shrimp are right there, so you don't even have to be messing with a
Like
dip
that.
net or anything. And
So that's what he's talking about. The thing that
oh, there it
lifts
is,
up.
right there.
Yeah, it makes it easy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, they're pretty
I
cool.
like it. I've watched a huge number of regulars start switching over those just
Yeah.
in the last 3 months.
Yeah, Christina kind of started the trend, and she
Christina.
Yeah.
I know you're watching right now.
she is. She sent us stars earlier. She's definitely watching. Yeah, and she started the trend, and now more and more people are definitely bringing them out. They work really well. They're
Yeah.
pretty cool, and you can make your own out of a normal cooler. One of our Facebook supporters in our supporter group was showing photos that he had done it with just a regular cooler. I think it was a Coleman
Oh, yeah.
Extreme. He had drilled a hole in the top and made a little bubbler
That's-
holder, and had makeshifted a net in there. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can make your own too. But if you want the good stuff,
Yeah.
the Engel
I mean, if you
ones-
want to look cool.
yeah.
That's how you do it. What was it? Balling on a budget?
That's
Dude,
exactly.
I
He quoted it. If you're balling on a budget.
I had so many people this week come up to me. If you guys watched the show last week, where we were talking about if you're balling on a budget, what to buy.
Yeah.
And I had so many people this week come up to me and be like, "Yeah, this is the new rod I got. I'm just balling on a budget." And I guess that's a new one for us. But
That's Mark Hubbard, dog. That's
Yeah.
my dad.
balling on a budget.
Balling on a
Yeah.
budget.
It's something else.
Yeah, when that whole ballin' term became famous,
Yeah.
like when I was in high school, my dad coined that phrase.
Did he?
Ballin' on
All
a
right,
budget. He's pretty hip.
Yeah. All right, 10-hour trip. I
All
gotta
right.
give something away here.
All right, let's see. getting distracted.
We're gonna have pitchforks and everything coming in.
Yeah, all right.
Or gigs.
Holy moly, it's almost 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta do
Losing
this.
track of time. All right, so let's see who won a 10-hour all day for 2 guests. 10-hour all day for 2 guests. Jason
What?
Hubbard.
What?
That's awesome. You know, and we were.
That's a fix.
No, I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody. They were like, "Oh, I saw Hubbard Investigative Services. You guys also have private investigators?" And I was like, "No." Hubbard is a really common last name. So Jason Hubbard from Floral City, you just won a 10-hour all day for 2 people. There's Hubbard Construction.
I think that there is another
There's
Hubbard's
Hubbard
Marina.
Investigation. There is another Hubbard's Marina on Lake Michigan. And we have an employee who works for us whose name is Robert Hubbard. No relation. Totally different family. Yeah. So
How
it's a
about
very
that?
common last name. And, what it is.
Who's older, Captain Frank or come on? It's me.
It's
I'm older.
definitely that guy.
That was one of the questions. Can they see? They can't see the questions that pop up, do they?
Apparently, they can't see the video if they think.
Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, I've got Dylan used to be my deckhand. So, yeah.
Yeah, for a long time, I was
Yeah.
your deckhand. We listened to Biggie Smalls super loud in the wheelhouse every morning.
That's right.
Yeah, on the way out. Josiah Stevens.
Now I listen to Michael Bublé. No, I'm just kidding.
Michael Bublé.
Oh, just kidding. I don't even know who that is. I was just trying,
You
to think,
obviously
I was trying to
do.
think of somebody old. I don't know.
Michael Bublé
That-
is very young.
Is he?
Sings
I don't even
old
know.
songs.
Okay.
Don't hate on Michael Bublé.
Okay,
man.
my bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
come on.
But whoever you make love to, that's good. Whatever.
Appreciate the stars, Josiah Stevens, and that's it right now for the Star Center. Let's see if we can get another couple questions in here before we run out of time.
Do they know that if they send stars, they have a better chance at winning?
He's lying to you. Anybody who comment has a chance to win free trips.
But if you send stars to my page, no, I'm just kidding.
What rig and bait was used to catch yellowtail on the 44-hour trip? The best bait for yellowtail snapper on those long-range trips is a small strip of squid, like about 1.5, 2 inches long, about a 1/4 inch thick, or a live shrimp.
Would you suggest even the small boxes of squid, the white squid, those little guys?
I personally hate whole squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole squid. If you're going to use the whole squid, it might work for a red grouper or maybe
No, I'm
a big
saying cut
mangrove.
those up because I've seen a lot of guys have a lot of good luck when they buy
Dude,
those.
I'll never forget the time that
We ran out?
we couldn't get the squid wings.
That was awful.
Yeah, we couldn't get squid
was
wings
awful.
for a period of time, and I'll never forget it because I worked the deck at one period where we couldn't get squid wings. We had the whole squid, and they sucked
It
because
was
they made a big mess.
Murder. You had no
And
idea about
yeah.
ink. How much ink
Yeah.
would get all over the boat.
Everywhere.
We had to cut them in the
Everywhere.
morning. Like, you had to cut them before we left the dock, and we put them all in the shrimp basket, and you had to run water on them for hours.
It was the worst thing ever.
Yeah. And then
So-
it just washes off a lot of the scent, too.
Yeah.
So it was like you were trying to combat one thing, and if you didn't do it, the entire boat was filled with black ink. It was
Terrible.
ridiculous.
So whole squid, in my opinion, suck for a myriad of reasons. One being the squid ink stains everything. 2 being the fact you have to cut them, and it's really tricky because there's a beak in there. And then 3 being the fact that they fall off the hook. They're so thin.
Yeah.
So I don't like whole squid. I like sticking to the squid strips, and you can cut them however you want them. It's like a steak. You want a big old piece? You want a little strip? You want to, you can customize it. So I like the squid wings for that reason, and they stay on the hook really, really well. So squid wings are always my go-to, but yellowtail do like those shrimp. But
Yeah, for sure.
a small strip of squid stays on your hook a lot better. And when I see those yellowtail come up, light tackle, about a 2-inch strip, about a 1/4 inch thick, is what I'd go to for sure.
And a 9-hook chicken rig, right?
Nope.
Right
nope.
in the middle of the boat.
Always.
Drop straight down. 16-ounce lead, right?
Always the fish finder rig, and always a double snell rig while I'm fishing for those snapper for sure. Jeff McDaniels, appreciate the stars. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Jennifer Roberts sent us a photo. Sophia caught herself a mackerel inside the bridge. Definitely seeing a lot of those mackerel, as we said before. And there she is. Definitely the mackerel right from the beach inside Johns Pass, because the beach is so big now, you can fish the Fender system from shore now.
That's a good photo with the sun in the background too.
Yeah.
That's a great photo. She came out Friday, and I had brought Kylie out Friday. So my daughter and her had a great time for the afternoon half day.
Yeah, Sophia Roberts, all she wants for her birthday is to go out on the 39-hour trip. Pretty awesome.
She's pretty gung ho. She's
ready to run.
Yeah, she likes to fish.
I have not booked anything yet. Is the 39-hour trip going out this Tuesday? Yes. How rough do you think it will be out there? Probably about 4 to 5 foot, maybe 4 to 6 foot, but definitely not too bad for the Florida fishermen. What do you think the air temps and waves will be like? Air temps are going to be cold as heck. If you're a Floridian, if you're from up north, it won't be too bad. Would Friday's trip be a better move? Right now, 39-hour wise, I would say probably Tuesday looks like a better wind and wave height.
Technically, yeah. Yep.
Going to be colder Tuesday, but as far as wind and waves are concerned, looks a little better Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a lighter
It
load.
sounds like they that they're local and they may have options. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe an option would.
You can see their area code is obviously not local.
Where's 404?
I don't know.
So, where's 404?
Gotta be
Somebody
up
will
in
post it up there.
You can just Google it. We've got a computer here,
Yeah,
dog.
Somebody gonna pop that up.
Zip
quick,
code.
watch.
I get it. I bet I get it first.
I'm sure you
Atlanta.
Atlanta. So that's pretty local. We have
Pretty
people
local.
that drive from local.
Definitely.
From,
A lot of
Atlanta
people
and,
from local or from Atlanta.
to
From
the
local. A lot of people.
They're from the same
Atlanta.
Jameson I'm from.
Someone, when we were talking about cells and I said 70% water, someone was like, "Oh, your cells are 70% Jameson."
Yeah, oh, did they? That's awesome.
Probably 60%. But how long are Gag Grouper open? Gag Grouper are open June 1st to the end of December. What rig? Terry Pip supporter. Appreciate you, Terry. What rig do you use when trolling? It depends on what you're trolling for. So if you're a supporter, we have that private supporters after show, so you can ask that and be a little bit more specific with me, Terry, because I need a little bit more information to tell you what's the best rig. But since you're a supporter in our supporters group, we'll have that private after supporters only show where you can ask that question. We'll answer it a little bit more in depth. Obviously, tonight there was no YouTube. Found out today that it will probably be mid-January before we're allowed back on YouTube.
That's a bummer.
Super bummer. Super bummer. All for showing a photo from hurricane damage. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I've sent multiple messages to the dude. I've said I pay you. I'd say I compensate you. I'd say
I'm sorry.
I deleted the video. I apologized. Multiple messages. Not even a response.
Well, we got to go beat him up.
Dude, offer to pay the guy. Just take my money. Let me back on YouTube.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, he'd rather hire a lawyer and make sure that we can't live stream on YouTube.
I know some guys in Atlanta take care of that. 404, baby.
We talked about the weather. We talked about the 44-hour trip. The Nomad Design lures working well. Caught that nice wahoo on that 44-hour trip on one of those Nomad Mad Max, kinda. It was a Yozuri Bonita, small Yozuri Bonita, but the Nomad Mad Max are very similar. Working real well for those wahoo for sure. We're catching a ton of hogfish. We talked about that. One thing before we go, wanted to show you the Black Friday deals. They are only for a short amount of time through this coming Saturday. 30% off Costa sunglasses, 20% off gift certificates, 30% off some of our souvenirs in the shop. We've got $100 off Saltiga reels, $70 off Saltus reels, 25% off Bull Bay rods. We've got a ton of deals in the shop. And the biggest thing is that 20% off gift certificate, because you can get up to $1,000 for future trips for $800 today. So use coupon code Black Friday. You can go right on our website. If you go to hubbardsmarina.com, click store, click Black Friday deals. All that information is right there. Again, under store, click Black Friday deals. All that information is there, and all the different deals are there, and the link to get the gift certificates. Make sure you read the policies before you purchase, but lots of options
If
there.
you've been thinking about getting one of those rods or reels, that's kind of the time to do it. Plus, you'll be supporting a local business, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have another update for you in the morning. I got some decent tides. We're going to be able to show you the full extent of that sand buildup. Still incredibly bad, and only getting worse. It seems like that sand is getting a lot worse. So make sure you sign that petition if you haven't done so already. Would really appreciate you checking out SaveJohnsPass.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, SaveJohnsPass.com. Make sure you sign that petition. We're just a couple signatures away from 10,000. I think we're less than, last time I looked, less than almost 100 from 10,000. Let's see. We are less than 1,000 away
Getting
from
close.
10,000.
Getting close.
750 more
Yeah,
signatures
so share
until we
it.
reach.
It's just everybody right now just shares it on their page.
Yeah.
They could pop off
Almost get there.
overnight. Yeah.
So make sure SaveJohnsPass.com. That's how you can find that petition, and make sure everybody signs it and then shares it, so we can make sure we resolve these problems and make sure to keep Johns Pass local and keep Hubbard's Marina in Johns Pass, because we want to stay there. We like Johns Pass.
We do.
It's pretty cool. All right, so with that, let's see who won a 39-hour trip. 39-hour trip for one guest, one person, and we'll see you next Sunday. Same bad channel, same show. John Murray from Gibsonton, appreciate you watching and tuning in. You won a 39-hour for two. Appreciate you hanging out with me.
39-hour for two.
39-hour for one.
Yes.
And
For one.
And I appreciate you guys all hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next week for another episode of the live stream show right here on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook page, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And remember, if you're too busy to go fishing,
You're just too busy.
see y'all
Next Sunday.
next Sunday, 8:30 p.m.